Hello everyone, welcome back to LaExcellence Bengaluru Presents Current Issue of the Day, episode number 179. In today's CAD episode, we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is Sports Governance Bill of 2025. So this topic is not only significant for UPSC aspirants but also for sports lover. For a long period of time, Indian sports was suffering from various lacunae such as dominance of cricket and meager performance of Indian athletes in Olympics or Asian Games or any kind of athletics for that matter. And then the failure of All India Football Federation and also issues with respect to sports federations of different sports such as Wrestling Federation and high cases of sexual harassment in national sports federations. So recent case of a wrestler taking her case against a wrestling minister. So this has been the case of Indian sport for a long period of time. And to address all these issues and also in a bid to gain a 2036 Olympics to India, the government is bringing a bill, that is Sports Governance Bill. So a very important topic. We'll discuss all the provisions and how it is going to address the issues of sports in India. So in paper 2, polity and governance, and then the context is the Rajya Sabha recently passed National Sports Governance Bill 2025 a day after its clearance in the Lok Sabha. So now it is going forward to President and then we have to wait and see what will be the outcome of the President. So National Sports Governance Bill, what was the need? Why it was needed? First is India's sports sector suffers from deep-rooted governance issues. What are the deep-rooted governance issues? First is the lack of accountability and transparency. Federations often hold unchecked powers, lead into corruption. For example, the infamous Commonwealth Games of 2010 and the infamous spot fixing of IPL, which resulted in ban of 2 IPL teams. Next, frequent litigation and administrative paralysis. That is, numerous disputes related to elections, selections and administration hinders sports development. For this, I will give an example of my favorite sport, that is football. Okay, so we know just like BCCI, which discusses or which holds cricket in India, there is All India Football Federation. Okay, there is All India Football Federation. This All India Football Federation was recently banned by FIFA for some period of time. What is this FIFA? This is the global federation which deals with football in the world. Okay, so it banned All India Football Federation. And what was the reason? The reason was the FIFA said the All India Football Federation elections were unfair. Elections were unfair and there was undue influence of the third player or third party. And who was the third party? According to FIFA, the third party in this particular case was the Supreme Court. Supreme Court. You might ask, why did Supreme Court meddle in the football? Why did the Supreme Court be considered as a third party? The reason is, because of the unfair elections in All India Football Federation, Supreme Court had to step in. Supreme Court stepped in and formed an interim body. Okay, an interim body, an interim chairman and all the interim administration body. This interim body where the election is not elected, rather there is a third party involvement which selected the body. This selected the All India Football Federation body which goes against FIFA rules. The FIFA rule says that the national football federations and the chairmen of the members should be elected democratically, which was not the case with respect to this particular issue. So FIFA banned All India Football Federation for a period of 2 months and later there was an election and now All India Football Federation is no longer banned. You might ask, it is a silly issue, what is the big issue to be discussed about it? Now imagine, FIFA banned All India Football Federation and all the teams that are related to All India Football Federation, meaning all the football teams, be it I-League, be it Indian Super League, be it Indian Women Super League. So now is the case here. What happened was, there is a small team called as Gokulam Kerala in Kerala. Gokulam Kerala, we are specifically discussing about Gokulam Kerala women's football team. They were football champions of Indian League, I League, and as a result, they were selected to Asia League. Okay, they were selected to Asian League, which was supposed to be held in Kazakhstan. Which was supposed to be held in Kazakhstan. The team even went to Kazakhstan. They went to Kazakhstan and they wanted to participate in Asian Games. But the news broke out. What was the news? All India Football Federation has been banned by FIFA. As a result, all the teams of India are not eligible to participate in all the games that are being hosted by FIFA. So this Asian Games or Asian League was being hosted by FIFA. As a result, this Gokulam Kerala team was not allowed to participate. So the dreams of young women football team was shattered. They went all the way from India to Kazakhstan, but they were not allowed to participate. As a result, they were banned from this league. So the cause is somewhere else. The reason is somewhere else, but the sufferers are this team. As a result, the Gokulam Kerala team was disbanded for a period of time. So this is how the elections and selections are creating a ruckus or issue with respect to sports. Next, absence of professionalism, that is reliance on volunteers and lack of skilled administrators impede efficient functioning. Then athlete marginalization and harassment issues, limited athlete representation and inadequate redressal mechanisms, especially in harassment cases. Okay, so recently there is a famous case of harassment with respect to Indian wrestling. Okay, the famous Dangal girls. The famous Dangal girl was harassed by a so and so minister. That was according to her allegations. But despite the huge uproar throughout India, no action was taken. So these are certain cases which are frequent in most of the national football, national federations of various sports. And also these national federations do not have a representation of the sports person. That is a sad irony. Okay, there is a sports and there is a federation. Who should be the representatives? Obviously the athletes, obviously the sports person, but that is not the case in India. Who is the representative and who is leading this? These are led by politicians. Case in point is the BCCI. I'm not going to say who is leading the BCCI and who he is the son of. So you already know it. So that is the issue with Indian sports federations. And finally, fragmentation or fragmented framework. This is not the first governance bill that India had brought. Recently, not recently, almost 10 years back, that is in 2011, sports code was brought in by the government. However, that code lacked enforceability. Courts often intervened and with ad hoc committees running the federations. This very ad hoc committee running the federation of elections of All India Federation led to the ban of All India Federation, Football Federation, and also led to the ban of Gokulam Kerala. So these are some of the issues and these are the result. And also in India, athletics is so ignored. Like despite of Neeraj Chopra winning gold, despite of Manu Baker winning 2 silver medals, despite of other athletes performing really well, the performance of India in Olympics or important athletics events is very meager. Okay, it is so low that even smaller countries like South Korea, North Korea, other countries get more gold or more medals than India. So that is again one more issue. So to address this, the government thought there is a need for new law or new bill. So that is National Sports Governance Bill. We'll discuss the key provisions of this bill. First is it establishes National Sports Board. That is, it is an apex regulator with power to recognize, suspend or de-recognize national sports federations. So National Sports Board will be at the top and all the sports federations like All India Football Federation, BCCI and also All India Wrestling Federations will be under this. Next is it is equipped to issue ethical and administrative guidelines and oversee welfare of athletes. So a very good initiative in this regard. So there is now an authority to oversee all these national sports federations. Next, National Sports Tribunal. Here it is a specialized dispute resolution body headed by Supreme Court or High Court judge. Previously what used to happen was Supreme Court or High Court was always meddling with these issues. As a result, there was a delay. As a result, there was a latency. As a result, there were delay in appointments, etc., which ultimately hampered the sports growth in India. So now there is a dedicated sports body to streamline or fast track these cases with respect to sports. Next, applicants can appeal only to the Supreme Court and civil courts are excluded. Okay, so that if there is any appeal from this tribunal, they can only go to Supreme Court. So there will be no more delays in this regard. Next, there will be National Sports Election Panel. Very important. It ensures free and fair elections in federations comprising experienced and retired election officials. Next, athletes and gender representation, which, if you ask me, is the most important aspect of this bill. That is, executive committees to include at least 2 outstanding sportspersons and 4 women. And it mandates athletics or athlete committee for policy input. Okay, so obviously the sports person is going to know the importance of sports in India and what are the issues that are plaguing India. So they should be provided representation. Next, okay, and other key provisions are there are certain tenure and age caps. That is, office bearers have maximum of 3 consecutive terms. That is 12 years in total, which many have criticized that it is nothing but again creating authority or autocracy. Next, age limit is set at 70 and extendable to 75 if an international statutes permit. Next is right to information, very important aspect which resulted in creation of rift between this bill and BCCI. That is, national sports federations recognized under the bill fall under RTI, though BCCI was excluded due to no funding from the state. But after this bill, this particular aspect went into Supreme Court or went into the court or the judiciary, where judiciary said even the BCCI should also be part of RTI. But we have to wait and see whether BCCI is going to be included under RTI or not. Next, what is the government's role and discretion here? The government can exempt federations from provisions in the if in public interest. Next is, only recognized bodies can receive central funds or use national identifiers like India. If they want identifiers, use the tagline of India, they have to be recognized who are going to receive central funds. Next is athlete welfare and safe sports. There will be obligatory code of ethics, grievance redressal and harassment safeguards aligned with post guidance as well. Okay, so the provisions are wide ranging. The provisions address most of the issues that are plaguing Indian sports. The significance is it strengthens governance with enforceable legislation, replacing a toothless 2011 sports code. Next, introduces institutional check and balance via National Sports Board, tribunals and election panel. Next, champions athlete-centric reform through representation and protection mechanisms. Next, supports India's Olympic ambition, that is 2036 bid, by aligning governance with global norms and practices, so that we are not going to replicate another Commonwealth Games scam. Next is gains cross-party recognition, that is Indian Olympic Association Chief PT Usha lauded the bill as ending decades of administrative stagnation. So this has been supported by most of the athletes. Next, BCCI opposition and controversy. What is the opposition? RTA exclusion. That the bill's definition limits RCA scope to federations that are receiving government grants, effectively excluding BCCI, which drew criticism for selective accountability. The opposition said it is because of the person who is leading BCCI. Who is leading BCCI? He is the son of famous home minister. So they say that the BCCI was not included under RTA provision because it is being led by Jai Shah. Next, autonomic concerns. That is, critics argue that the bill may undermine the autonomy of national sport federations and could risk IOC sanctions due to governmental overreach. Next, the age and tenure loopholes. 12-year term till 75 years of age. It is nothing but obviously again giving authority to older people or extending the authority for an inordinate period of time. So that should not have been allowed. There should have been at least maximum 2 terms only, or the age limit should have been cut down to 60 or 65 years of age. Next, extending the age cap and relaxing the term may entrench power, potentially fostering institutional inertia. So that has to be addressed. So these are the criticism. Next, The criticism is again about centralization of the power, that is, Congress and other parties warn that the bill concentrates authority within the ministry, potentially stifling autonomy. Next is democratic deficit. The bill was passed swiftly with limited opposition debate or opposition, raising concerns about procedural transparency. Okay, what can the even government do if the opposition just keeps on walking out of the house? Then what the even the ruling party can do? So it is again the issues with respect to both ruling party and opposition party. That is the lack of parliamentary proceedings in India at the moment. Next, loopholes in governance. Relaxed age and term caps may allow entrenched leadership to persist, countering intended governance reforms. Okay, that already explained about the age limit. Next, so despite all the drawbacks or criticism, this is a good move and it should be a cause of hope or happiness for all the sports fans in India. So this video I want to discuss with you. So if you like the video, if you think you got something out of the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.